Welcome to the apocalypse. Before I take that gag off your mouth and untie you, I just want you to know that you are safe-ish. Well, I want to tell you about the situation we're in the present, because the present is all that matters, okay? Right now, we are in the present. Here, look at me. Right now, we are in the present. And the reason the present is all that matters is because the past is obsolete. Okay? I'm not gonna tell you what my name was, and you're gonna tell me what your name is, because that just doesn't matter anymore. It's useless information. Nobody cares who you were. Nobody cares who you were before the outbreak. No one cares who you were 2 hours ago, 2 weeks ago, 10 months ago, 5 minutes ago, because in the heat of the moment, no one cares who you are when it comes to saving their own ass. No one cares. It is just you and you in this, nobody else. And that's amazing, okay? Ah, it feels so refreshing. I haven't talked to anybody in like a month. Forgive me. I seem to have lost some of my normal manners, my normal social skills. You are in a house, okay? And the reason why it's here is because it is the least dense part of town. We are just out of the city, okay? And now I don't want to leave the city completely, okay? I don't want to go to the country. I want to be right here for now. The city, I guarantee, as much as many infected are in it right now, but the outbreak just happened like 5 months ago, so obviously the infected are still going to be there. But right now, I'm noticing something. Okay, they're starting to wean themselves away. Okay, they're leaving the city, and they're passing through the smaller suburbs. Okay, and then they're gonna go to the country, because there's only so many other places where survivals will be. But see, I'm smart. Okay, I'm gonna move around. You see, these dumbass survivors, they set up camps, and they set up like communities, and they think that they're gonna be able to keep them there, but the undead never stop moving. So you really think holding still is your best option? The undead are an unstoppable force, and they are not an unmovable object. Enough undead can move anybody. Okay, so let me tell you about me. Lovely weather we're having. I was with a little group of survivors for about a week. There was us 5, okay, and then we found this community at a gas station. I guess you could call it a community. It was more like just a little fortified gas station. And then there's probably about 20 of us. Here is the thing. people. Okay? When they get scared, they turn into monsters. Terrifying things. And it's weird, okay? It's like, it's panicky. It's panicky almost because the undead, the infected, or whatever the hell they are, they're not dead, most to say. They never died. They just changed. I don't know this virus, really, all that well. I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, I didn't create the damn thing. But what I do know is that it's like a gene mutation, okay? It changed their DNA. Okay, so getting bit isn't necessarily what changes you unless the blood of the infected gets into your wound. It travels through the blood, not the saliva, nothing else, no other bodily fluid, just the blood. So if I so happen to turn right now and sink my teeth into your neck, you wouldn't turn unless I bled into you, and you ingested my blood somehow. That's it. So there's a lot of people that can get bit and still survive. It's okay. But see, they don't stop biting you, that's the problem. they keep going at you. Like, they reach their hands onto your stomach and start ripping and like pulling at your skin until it just peels right off like onion rings. Like the ring around a fucking onion just comes right off. Just peels. It's fascinating. See, the undead, they're predictable. They're not the scary things here. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're terrifying. To most. I guess to all. They don't scare me. I know what they want. They want to infect me. They want to kill me, or whatever. That's pretty much their purpose, is the virus just wants to spread. So, that's what it does. Now, it's the living, the people, that they're the ones you want to be afraid of. I mean, who am I to talk, right? I have you tied down and gagged. But, I mean, I've been alone for so long, I guess I've just been dying for some human contact. But anyway, as I was saying about my little group, we were attacked. There might have been maybe only 10 infected actually swarmed us, but the people panicked. And because of that fear, they turned into monsters. They began to push people in front of the infected and run, close the doors on others, and sacrifice people just to save their own skin. And that's when I saw what everybody really was. I saw how the world is now, and what we are to it. We are just survivors, I guess. If you want to put it on the food chain wise, we are no longer on top of the food chain. Okay, they are. The infected is. They run this kingdom now. We are now prey. And prey, usually you would stick together, but have you ever actually seen a gazelle help out another gazelle? No. So, if this is how it is, I guess I changed a little bit in that moment. You see, I took this, my gun, and I began the fire. Bow, bow, bow. shot everything. Not just the infected. And then I realized something, too. This was fun. I enjoyed myself. I wasn't scared anymore. Because I did this. I had control of the situation. Okay, I didn't let anything stop me. I was free. It was just me and them. Me and them. And of course, it wasn't easy to transition. But once I did, I have been the most powerful thing here. Nothing can stop me. Nothing. Not you, not the people, not the infected, not anything in between. And that's brilliant. But you see, the infected are deaf, okay? They're like a deaf bloodhound. They can't hear. I could go out there and scream my fucking lungs out, and they wouldn't hear me, okay? I could fire the gun into the air, I could bang shit around, it doesn't matter, they can't hear. Okay, what is strange, though, is that I use the word bloodhound because they can smell. Oh, Christ, can they smell? It's like blood in the water to sharks, okay? Like, they can smell blood from like a mile away. And that's just if it's exposed. God only knows how far away can smell if it's in you. I mean, they can smell you, in other words. So, you might be wondering how I escaped. You're right. I mean, I shot everybody. They're all dead. But all that blood. I mean, I shot so many fucking people in the head. There was puddles on the ground, just blood all over the fucking place. It attracted hundreds of them. I swear they just ran out of nowhere. I actually thought for a second I might be a little bit screwed. And then they didn't even notice me. That's how I got away, was the blood. All that fresh blood, all those puddles just lying there. They went straight for that. The virus was like getting straight to that. Like, it just needed fresh blood. It just wanted pure blood. My blood was still in my body, intact. I wasn't even hurt. But they were dead. But their blood was just out there. I started like diving at the bodies and just splashing around the blood. Like, that was it. That's it. I just practically walked right out the back door. So, they're deaf. And that's nice, I guess. They can see. To an extent. I mean, if they're blind, they can't, but they can't hear, which is odd. They can see, and they can definitely smell. And I've been alone ever since. Day to day, moving along. As I said, everything's now. But you can't just think now, okay? The present is just as important as the future. Okay? Think future too. Because you need food. And you need water. So everything you do now affects what happens later. You see where I'm going with this? So, given that all these freaks are out there, and the infected, I figured I gotta do something. And here we are. Now, if you haven't already known, the infected are fast. Yeah, that was my problem for the longest time. I was never really much to work out before all this. I had no cardio. And in fact, I mean, they can run. Oh, they can run. They can run and not get tired. Now, remember, I said that they're not technically dead. I say that word dead loosely. Because they're not technically alive like you and me know something to be alive. Like, if I were to, shoot them in the heart, or shoot them in anywhere but the head, they... Actually, no. No, you can shoot them in the head. They just don't want to die. That's their problem. Let me put it like this. When the blood stops flowing, that's when they technically die. When the virus has trouble moving around in their body. So yes, headshots are the most effective. You could shoot them in the heart, I guess to say, but it takes time. Their brain, like I said, their genes, they mutated. They don't necessarily need any of their other organs. They just need the ones to move blood more freely, which is mostly just their heart, but they need the brain to shoot signals to it. Yes, I know the lungs help move things around and everything else, but not anymore for them. You see, their bodies has changed. It's weird. Strange. But, yes, headshots can be effective because eventually it stops and shuts down everything, but you gotta make sure that you get the whole brain. Like, one shot to the head isn't enough. You can't just take it, and you can't just shoot them in the head once with a small little pistol like this and expect them to go away. No, you have to make sure it's effective. You want to make sure that they're gone. You want to shoot them a few times. Don't be afraid. We all do things nowadays to survive. Even me coming to you is technically a survival technique. See, I'm not afraid. You might be afraid, but I don't know if you're afraid of them or me. Let me tell you something about me. I have been bit so many times, okay? There is nothing to be afraid of about them. They can't infect you unless their blood gets in you, and you'd be surprised how many of them aren't bleeding in the mouth. I'm not saying not all of them do, but their bodies don't decompose, okay? So it's not like they're getting sores or anything in their mouth. The only way they're gonna cut themselves if they bite their goddamn tongue off, bite their lip, or they're chewing into someone's fucking rib cage, and a bone snaps and clocks inside their mouth. Let me tell you a story. I began to feel a little alone. As I stated to you before, and this is the reason why you're even here, I was feeling isolated. was sitting up on a rooftop one day, on this little industrialized street. And then, from behind me, I hear these cries. And this little boy is up on top of this big truck, this big U-Haul truck. And he's crying, he's screaming. He's not yelling for help. I just thought he was scared. I mean, the undead were up there, just bashing against the truck, just bang, 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 bang. Metal just echoed off the damn buildings, and they're all just trying to jump up there and reach them. They're smashing against it. They're trying to climb up, but they couldn't get up there, just falling off. That's the thing about the undead is they're poorly coordinated, especially when they see food. Well, they tried their best, okay? But ultimately they couldn't make it. So, I see my opportunity. I grabbed my rifle. Bang. 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 I shoot them all. I run down there. Climb up onto the truck. Look at the little boy. He turns, faces me, with that milky gaze, teeth out, snarling at me. He charges me, and I shot him. And I realized he wasn't crying because he was scared of the undead. He was crying because he was becoming